Else reading tips. Type 8, Sentence completion. In this kind of question you will be asked to complete the sentences with words from the reading text. These questions are as much vocabulary tests as they are reading tests, because they require you to be aware of paraphrasing, using different words to repeat the sentence so that it has the same meaning, and synonyms, words with the same or very similar. Avoid common problems. As you have probably already guessed from the passage above, the main problem is students trying to match words in the question with exactly the same words in the reading text. Instead you should look for words that means the same thing, that is paraphrases and synonyms. Another common problem is not reading the instructions properly and then writing too many words. Or not writing the same words as in the reading text, as discussed above. Finally, students often start reading the text before the question. This is confusing for most people and wastes time. Read the questions first. Here are a few tips. 1. Check how many words it asks you to write. 2. Sometimes the question will state using words from the text or from the text. In this case you should only use words from the text and not change them or use different forms of the words. If it does not say this, then you are allowed to change the words as long as the meaning is the same. 3. The answers appear in the same order as the questions. The answer to number 1 will be above number 2, and the answer to number 3 will be below the answer to number 2. 4. Remember that your answer should be grammatically correct. Check the type of word that fits in the space. Is it a verb, noun, adjective or adverb? This will help you answer the question correctly. 5. When scanning for your answer, make sure you are thinking about paraphrasing and synonyms. 6. Find where the answer is located in the text before you try to answer the question. Remember where before what. 7. Read the questions before reading the text. Strategy. 1. Read the instructions carefully, noting how many words you can write and if they want you to include the exact words from the question or not. 2. Read the incomplete sentences first. Think about what word form can be used and try to predict the answer. Also think about keywords and how they could be represented by synonyms or paraphrasing. 3. Locate where the information is located by scanning quickly. If you can't locate the answer quickly, move on. 4. Read the incomplete sentence again. 5. Study the reading text more carefully to establish the answer. 6. Check your spelling. 7. Repeat with the other sentences. Thank you for your watching. See you later.
Else reading tips. Type 10, labeling a diagram. On the Else reading test you might get a question that asks you to label a diagram. This post will show you examples, look at common problems, give you tips and provide you with a strategy for answering these questions. Common problems. The main problem with these questions is students focus too much on the diagram and try to understand everything about it. Unfamiliar diagrams can cause panic and lose you time. This is not a test of your technical knowledge but a test of your reading skills. You should try to understand generally what is happening in the diagram. But the relationship between the text and the diagram is more important. Another big problem is failing to locate the paragraphs that contain the answers quickly and losing time reading the whole text. Students also lose marks in this section by writing the wrong number of words or spelling words incorrectly. Here are a few tips. 1. Check how many words you are supposed to write. It will tell you in the question. Identify the type of word, noun, verb, adjective, you need. This will help you find the correct answer. 2. The answers do not always come in the same order that the paragraphs are in. 3. Do the easiest questions first. You are more likely to get these correct. If you cannot find the answer to a difficult question, move on and come back later. 4. Try to predict the answer before you read the text. This will help you find the correct answer. Strategy. 1. Check how many words you can write. 2. Study the diagram and try to understand generally what is happening. Don't spend too much time doing this. 3. Highlight keywords or labels. 4. Identify the types of words required and try to predict the answer. 5. Scan the text and identify where the information is located. 6. Read in more detail to find the answer. 7. Check spelling. Thank you for your watching. See you later.
ELTS Reading Tips Type 2, Matching Heading. In the ELTS Reading Test you may be asked to match headings to sections of the text. This type of question tests your ability to understand the main idea of each paragraph. Headings are short sentences that summarize the information in a paragraph. You have to pick the one that best summarizes the information in a paragraph. You reading text to one heading. There are always more headings than paragraphs. Will be given between 5 and 7 headings and asked to match each paragraph in the. There are some common problems in ELTS reading tests. 1. There is too much information to get through and not enough time. 2. Trying to match a word or words from the headings to a word in the text. 3. Some of the headings may appear to have the same meaning. 4. Some students only read the first sentence of each paragraph and do not understand the main idea of the paragraph. 5. Spending too much time on one paragraph or heading. 6. Answers are not in the same order as the text. Here a few tips and solutions can help you do ELTS tests better. 1. Do this question first. By doing this you will be able to get the general meaning of the text as a whole, and this will help you with the rest of the question that requires you to take a more detailed look at the text. 2. You are not expected to read every word of the text. This will take too long and you don't have time for this. A good way to do this is to read the first 1 or 2 sentences and the last sentence of the paragraphs. You can also briefly look at the rest of the paragraph, but you don't have to read every word. 3. If there are words you don't understand, don't worry about this. Again, you should only worry about the general meaning of the paragraph as a whole, not individual words. Even native speakers will fail to understand every word in the ELTS reading test. 4. Be aware of synonyms. Many students look for words that match exactly with words in the text and ignore synonyms. For example, a keyword in the heading might be beautiful. However, the word you're looking for could be many different synonyms of beautiful, like attractive, pretty, lovely, or stunning. 5. If there are 2 or 3 headings that are similar, write them beside the paragraph and try to find out the difference between the 2 headings. What are the keywords? How does this change the meaning? Which one matches the paragraph best? 6. If you still can't decide which one suits best, move on and come back to it later. The answer will normally be easier to find after you have matched some more headings. 7. Ignore anything you already know about the topic. You are being tested on the text only. 8. Don't read too quickly. Some teachers advise that students should just skim the text because you don't have much time. In my experience, this leads to students not understanding most of the text and making mistakes. It is better to do this a little slower and actually understand what is in front of you. 9. Don't panic if you know nothing about the general topic of the reading text. The ELTS reading test is not a knowledge test and you are not expected to have prior knowledge of. The ELTS reading test is not a knowledge test and you are not expected to have prior knowledge of the topic. 10. Don't look at the headings first. This will automatically make you look for specific words in the text rather than the main idea. Remember, it is your ability to find the main idea that is being tested, not your ability to find specific information. Instead of reading the headings first, ignore them and get the general meaning of each paragraph first by reading the first and last sentences. And there are some strategy. 1. If this type of question is on the test, do it first. 2. Don't look at the headings. 3. Read the first 1 or 2 sentences and the last sentence of each paragraph to understand the general meaning of the paragraph. Don't worry about highlighting keywords in the test. Try to sum up the general meaning of each paragraph in 1 or 2 words. 4. Look at the headings and identify keywords within each heading. 5. Match any headings that are very obvious and you are sure about. 6. For the others, write 2 or 3 headings beside the paragraph. Identify the difference between each of the headings. Establish if there are any synonyms in the paragraph to keywords in the headings. 7. If you still can't pick one, move on. The answer will often reveal itself later. 8. Repeat until finished. Thanks for your watching. Let's see more videos to get more tips.